Hi, my name is Stuart Chapin, and I'm going to demonstrate today transitioning from a top belay to a counterbalance belay, and then through a belay station to a tandem belay. To begin with, I've got my climber hanging on this strand, and I'm belaying with a reverso in the auto locking position. I'm tied in here with a clove hitch on the shelf of my anchor. The first step really is to get my hand free from the brake strand. I'm going to use a overhand on a bike catastrophe knot, and I'm going to clip that in to my harness so that I'll have the freedom to take my belay device off here in a minute. I'm going to use two non-locking carabiners, opposite and opposed, so that I can keep my locking carabiners free to do some of the work here. My next step, anticipating that I'm going to need to go to a redirected belay, is I'm going to set my redirect carabiner up there. And then I need to build a bridge so that my climber is hanging, the weight of my climber is hanging on the shelf of my anchor instead of on my belay device. I'm going to use my long cordelette to do that. And I'm going to tie a prusik hitch here on the line to make that happen. Alright, check the hitch, make sure it's holding. Seems to be. And then locking carabiner on my shelf for the bridge. There's my munter hitch. Here's my mule hitch. And my finishing note. So now I can work on easing my climber onto the bridge. I'm going to hold on to the brake strand and just rocker my locking carabiner on the belay a little bit until that comes nice and loose. Okay? Once it's loose, I'm going to use that carabiner that I pre-set up. Before I do that, actually, I want to probably set myself up with an extension for the rappel. I'm going to do that now so that I can have that ready. Through my hard points. And I'm going to use a overhand on a bike to create two places to tie off to here. All right, so now I'm ready to move my belay device down after I use a little bit of this slack in the system to clip into my redirect carabiner. Redirect's clipped and locked. Now I'm going to move my belay device down to my extension. Note that I can do that because I've got the climber tied off with very little slack in the system to my catastrophe knot. So now I'm going to clip in through my shelf on my extension here, and that gets me ready to be on a redirected belay. I can collect this carabiner that my belay device was hanging off of, and I'm going to use that here to set up my brake, my backup for my brake hand. I'm going to use the auto block hitch here. On a locking carabiner, check that hitch to make sure that it holds. And it's on. Great. All right, locked, locked, locked. Okay, so I now have my climber on a belay through a redirect. And so at this point, I can move from having the weight on the bridge to having the weight on my belay device. And once again, I'm going to just hitch that up as far as I can. Once again, I'm hands-free still, even when I have all this because of that catastrophe knot. All right, so bridge is going to come off. And as I lower the climber off of the bridge, I really need to lean back on my belay device. Notice that I'm still tied in with my clove hitch on the main line, and that's my backup. And as I lower, now the weight's on me, and I really have to hang on that, because if I stand up, the climber's gonna go down and I'm gonna get my carabiner pulled upward. I'm gonna leave this hitch on the other end of the line, and I'm going to tie myself to it. And what this does is, if I can't see all of the rope going down to my climber, there could be damage on the rope, or if the climber stood up on a ledge or did something unexpected, that would have adverse effects on me. So I'm going to have I'm going to have this line on the opposite side, so that if she came off for some reason, this hitch would be holding one side and I would be pulling on the other side, and I would be counterbalanced on my own. So that's just a safety backup. All right, at this point I need to clear off all of the things off the anchor that I want to take with me. I'm going to undo my clove hitch because I am now on rappel, and I am still hands-free because I still have a catastrophe knot. That can be kind of difficult to maneuver through that with tension on. All right, now I'm going to go to my rappel. So I'm undoing my catastrophe knot. I need to hang on to my brake hand, and need to be very careful to weight my end of the rope so that my climber doesn't pull down. I want to carefully get my rope down without dropping it on my climber's head. Out of the stack on the ledge. All right, I'm still tied into my rope. That's keeping me from making the mistake of going off the end. Now I need to mind my backup hitch with one hand and my hitch on the other side of the rope with the other to rappel down to my climber. Now I'm going to tie a catastrophe knot, check in with my climber. If my climber needs a shoulder sling to hold her up, maybe I'll see if she's got a long runner on her. Oh, she does. Handy. Catastrophe knot on this side, I can be hands-free. do that. Get this straight in. Now my climber can lean back in relative comfort. Is that okay?